Okay, and I think we are live. Hi, I am Mariam, and
Woohoo!
I'm here in my backyard, actually, which is also the main office where a lot of the work that we are doing gets done. And Aiki, you are in Estonia.
Yes, I'm in Estonia and it's raining for the fourth day in a row, so it's amazing how I'm missing sun at the moment. But
Yeah.
preparing all this Sound of Your Soul summit that we're actually doing at the moment, that gives me this energy that is actually so much missing from the outside, from the sun.
Yes. Well, why we want to connect with you, everybody, today is to tell you who we are and also about the upcoming Sound of Your Soul Summit. So I am Mariam, and I have worked for the past 6 months, probably, or 4 months, in putting together this amazing online music and sound festival. And I've worked together with Aiki. You will also hear more about Aiki and get some emails from her and myself when you decide to sign up. And this music festival is basically, well, it's a pretty special event. We've never done anything quite like that.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
Nothing like that before.
so it's pretty much the idea is that it is a sound and music festival where you have a chance. It's like when you go to a music festival, then you get to listen to different concerts and you can do some workshops, and it's very interactive. It's very, you can participate. So now we're doing the same thing online because I've always loved chanting, and singing mantras has been just my big passion. When I moved to Bali, I started to go to these chanting classes on a regular basis, and I just feel so good every time I sing. I just, my energy changes. And in one hand, this is a chance to come together as a group and as a community and to sing mantras and chant with some amazing world-class musicians. So we found Donna Delori, who was the Madonna's backup singer for 20 years, and Wah, who is an amazing devotional singer. You probably might know her as well. And we have Kevin James Carroll, who is doing these beautiful heart song workshops and concerts. So we have beautiful musicians, uh, but it's not just a music festival, because another aspect of what we will be doing is we're actually exploring what what kind of an impact the sound has on our body and on our emotions. So, Aiki, maybe you want to tell a little bit how we will dive into that part of the topic.
Yes, for sure. For me personally, it's really really important. As I'm this mind-based person, it's really important for me to rationally explain to myself how actually the sound, how music itself, how the chanting, how those can all influence me, my mind, my body, my spiritual self, and so on. So what we did in the beginning, we did a little bit of brainstorm and we Googled, of course, to find the best of the best who would be able to explain us how sound, how different frequencies, different vibes, how those can influence us. So we found David Gibson, who is in US, amazing, having his own sound healing community behind. Teachers, they are one of the only ones, if I'm not mistaken, in US who are certifying sound healers, sound healing teachers.
Yes,
So amazing.
I just want to add, like David was just, I mean, the interview with him was so much fun. The exercises that he did,
Oh yes.
I enjoyed doing them. So it's going to be, quite one of my favorite interviews. Uh, so yeah, carry on.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
they were oohing and doing stuff like that. It was really, really fun to listen to those, let's say. But of course, David Gibson is only one of those people that we have. We also spoke with Lynn McTaggart, Penny Pierce, and as we are looking at the side of how sound and frequencies those can affect our intuition, of
Right.
course, this inner wisdom that we all have. Well, that was the point where we decided that Penny Pierce, who is one of the best intuition coaches in US and of course in the whole wide world, we decided to talk with her also. So we have a 1 hour interview with her talking about intuition, how we're stepping into the intuition age and so on, and how actually sounds, how those are affecting us doing that.
Well,
so yeah.
I just want to add here that the whole name of the summit is Sound of Your Soul. And it's because what we realized developing it is that each of us, we have a different frequency. It's almost like we have our own zone of sounds where we feel great. And it's in our
zone
voice.
Of joy.
Yeah, it's like this vibration that we all have. And so the sound of our soul is a very unique expression. And listening to that, knowing what is your sound, what is your frequency, this is where our intuition comes to play. So when you're really tapped in and tuned in with yourself, then everything in your life just becomes effortless, because it just comes from your natural desire of who you are. So this summit is a lot about exploration of what is this personal frequency that you have, or I have and Aiki has. So that's what for me is so exciting, that all these workshops are practical, but they point you back to yourself. So it's not like we're just singing and chanting and listening to interviews. It's really just reconnecting with your own personal frequency.
Yes, that sounds amazing. That really is something that I actually personally have been looking forward to, because usually when you join a summit or something, then not usually, but often it happens that there's a lot of theory. You get a lot of information, and then you have to, see what is useful for you there and what is not. But in our case, I really adore the fact that we really do have practical exercises, like small exercises actually, that makes it even more perfect. That you don't have to take a long 1 hour to do something, but like a minute or two, and you can already change something inside.
Right. Well, so this summit is happening over 6 days. So it starts on 26th of October, and then it lasts until 31st of October. So every day we are sending out 2 workshops or interviews. And some of them are truly practical. There is a class with gong. There's also a sound yoga. It was the very first time I've ever tried sound yoga. I didn't even know what it is, but it's very interesting. You basically get to do a sound yoga class in your home. So a lot of these workshops are recorded in high quality video. Because we actually went to these sound centers and we met with people that are practitioners in this field. We did a video with Shervin Balorian here in Bali, who is one of the leading sound healers, who is constantly traveling and giving workshops. So you get to do a workshop with him, which is really exciting. And we also have these interviews, and every single interview is practical. So it has insights and it has things that you can apply, but also they're inspiring. I have never felt so aware of where is my joy zone when doing these interviews and talking to people that are constantly using sound in their life. But there is another aspect that I want to talk about, which is the gift that we are giving to everybody that signs up. It's called Synctuition. So just very quickly, that in fact this summit was inspired by my friend who first gave me a 3D sound meditation tracks that I could listen to. And I get a lot of different recommendations all the time, just try this method or try that method. So I kind of ignored that, and I thought, like, what can be so special about sound?
Yeah,
but then
exactly.
finally, I tried it, and I put the headphones on, and I listened to this 3D binaural beats, which basically is that from one headphone, one type of sound comes in, and from the other one, a different type of sound. And it's what it does is that it synchronizes your brain waves, so that your brain itself makes the neurological connection, which is all proven by science. And what makes those tracks so special is that they are recording in 3D, so you literally feel that you are in that space. That it's not just like all the other binaural beats out there are just they basically just give different frequencies from different airs, but this one is done in 3D, so it's just a totally different experience. You feel you are in this different world. So
yeah, I have a great story about that, because usually when I'm also listening to Synctuition, of course, and and usually I'm listening it right before going to sleep. So I'm already in bed, I'm lying there, closing my eyes, listening to that. And at one point when I just started listening to those, the sounds are so real that I was like, sleeping soundly almost. And then at one point I was like, oh my God, what was that? Because someone closed the door right behind me. Closed the door, of course, in 3D meditation way.
Yes, and what I want to add is that I started to give those sound journeys to my 5-year-old son, and he's
Okay.
like he's an open book, right? Like he doesn't have an opinion. Is it good or bad? If he likes it, he likes it. If he hates it, he hates it. So I thought that 20 minutes of sound meditation is going to be so boring for him that he's just going to ask, after 30 seconds to take the headphones off. And he didn't. he really, really likes them. And now he's listening every night before he goes to bed. He's listening to these sound journeys. And I asked him, why do you like them? And Samuel told me, in the 5-year-old way, it's because it takes me to places. And
So
that was
cute.
his way. That was his way of explaining that in these journeys, you literally travel away to somewhere else. So, long story. This is, here I don't want to dive in too much into that, but finding those audios and trying them was what inspired me to find out what happened. So what is the impact that we can, like my brain just felt so alert, and I felt that 20 minutes went by, and literally my body chemistry was different, and I was more focused, and just it felt amazing. So that's why I started to ask questions from people like David Gibson and Penny Pierce to actually study that field. So in this summit, you get to try those, that same stuff that we just spoke about. You get to try that for free. So you're getting three tracks from our partner Synctuition, and you also get to find out what is the actual impact of sound on your body and your chemistry. So that's
Yeah,
really exciting.
it can be whatever actually, because in your case you're like feeling alert and amazing like in the middle of the day when you're listening to those. I'm listening right before I'm going to bed, and everything starting from building this concentration and finishing with releasing stress. This is something that Synctuition does, and it was really weird for me because I'm this rational person as you are, and I was like, no music can do that, but this actually can by experience. I can say that, yes.
Yeah, that's very true that different people experience it in a very different way. And yeah, some traffic sound behind me. There are motorcycles going by, and life is happening. But I wanted to say that in Synctuition, it was actually recorded in, I don't know, 115 different locations around the world. And they hired musicians, like 40 or 50, even more, all this data is on their website, that were contributing, creating these sounds. So it's just amazing, beautiful music that just kind of takes you around the world in different places and locations. You're in nature and explores emotions like anger and love, and you can imagine or visualize that you're a movie star. There's so much essence to that. But anyway, we will not, I don't want to spend all this time talking about that, but it's just such an exciting part. So people can try this and basically tell us what is their experience, because everybody gets something different out of it.
Looking forward to that. It's like a human experiment that we have done so far within ourselves, with our families, with our children, husbands. But it would be really nice to know what other people are seeing and experiencing, because we already know there have been testimonials from famous people talking about intuition, talking about how it all has changed their lives. But the regular people, like us, like you there, how does it change your life? I really like to know what does
Yeah.
it do in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I think we've covered most of the things we wanted to talk about. That
Oh, actually,
ah
important things when actually this whole summit begins. This whole
yes,
summit begins,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it starts on 26th of October. So
Yes, in
it's
2 weeks.
Thursday in 2 weeks at the moment, yes, and the time is ticking. So as soon as you sign up, we are putting also the link with this comments, and so you'll find the link there. As soon as you sign up, you will get those free audio tracks. One thing I want to mention is that when you basically need to create a free account to get those tracks. You will get the instructions. I mean, as soon as you sign up, we made a little video that explains how to access those, because they are tied with Sync2Vision system. I mean, they are so, like, you know, you can't just download them or give them away, because they are part of their program, and those can only be listened in their platform. So we are making it as easy for you as possible. It's just one click. Like, you can sign up with a Gmail or Facebook, or just put your email in. It's super easy. And then you get to listen to 3 different journeys. I mean, all of them are 20 minutes long. Yeah, and on 26th of October, we start sending you 2 workshops per day. So over 6 days, every day you're getting a new workshop to practice different sound healing exercises, and then also actually understand how to use sound and music in your personal healing practice. Yeah, I think
yes, and actually,
am I forgetting something?
Not really. Only thing that just came to my mind right now is that if I'm busy during that day, if you, for example, as I'm a customer or watching that workshop, if I'm busy during that day, what then? Can I see the workshops then? We have covered that also. So all the workshops, all the interviews, those will be available until the end of the summit. So if you take the 6 days of the summit, if you don't manage to watch the workshops of the first day on the first day, then you have 5 more days to watch those, but only during the summit, because after that we simply have to take those interviews and workshops down. But this is an opportunity for you if you think that you're a busy person, as we all are.
Oh, and one more thing. I'm glad we're remembering all of these things, because it's very important. When you're listening to these 3 tracks, please don't buy, because we are partnering with Sync2Vision, and they are making a super discount offer to everybody that is participating at Sound of Your Soul. Yeah, like they've literally never offered it for that price point before, and it's only because we really worked with these guys and we fell in love with their program, and it was just an opportunity to make it available to all the people that are in the TogetherWeAre community. So that's something to remember. Do not pay more, because you will get a discount code.
Yes, exactly. Just wait until the end of the summit. On the 6th day of the summit, it's 31st of October. Then we will announce how and what to do to get the special offer, because it really is. Mariam is not exaggerating here. It really is a special offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I think I noticed that my face was sort of like in the dark or in the shade some of the time, so just going to finish this in the sunshine to send you all some beautiful sun from Bali. And thank you for listening. If you have questions, we are very, very happy to respond everything. And if you want to know more about TogetherWeAre, then we will be making this kind of quick Facebook Lives in the coming weeks. So you get to answer all your questions, or get your questions answered, and get to know us. Yeah, okay.
Yes, comment, share, like, send us questions through email, whatever. We will answer all of them, whatever platform you use. So just do it.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful energy to just be connecting in this way. Like we've had so much fun putting this together, and I really hope you will get that same benefit that we did when we created that. Okay, well, thank you very much, and lots of love.
See you online.